In this lesson, we're going to look at how we plot straight line graphs. Before getting started on that, we need to do a little bit of revision on substitution. So for each of these equations down here, we're going to, first of all, substitute in x equals 3 and work out what y is, and then substitute in x is minus 2 and work out what y is. So let's do the first one together. Okay, so let's do x is 3 first. So when x is equal to 3, y is equal to 3 plus 1, which equals 4. When x is equal to minus 2, let's do that over here. Y is equal to minus 2 plus 1, and minus 2 plus 1 is 1. Okay, so what I want you to do now is pause the video and have a go at the following 4 equations. Substitute in first x is 3, then x is minus 2, and then work out what y is. Pause the video and have a go at them, and then you can come back and check the solutions. Okay, so solutions are y equals 8, y equals 3, y equals 2 times 3, which is 6, plus 4 is 10. Y equals 2 times minus 2, which is minus 4. Then we add 4, so y is 0. Y equals 2 times 3, which is 6. Take away 1 is 5. Y equals 2 times minus 2, which is minus 4, minus 1, minus 5. For the last one, did you get the last one? If we substitute, we get y plus x is 3 equals 5. So we know y must equal 2. And y plus minus 2 equals 5. Now, if you remember, a plus and a minus, when we can put a circle around it, we can replace with a minus. So y minus 2 equals 5. So y must be 7. Okay, if you found the negative ones of those, substituting x is minus 2, a little bit tricky, don't worry about that. That's going to be the extension work today if you want to try substituting with negative numbers. Okay, let's have a look at graphs then. So in order to plot graphs, we need to plot some coordinates that lie on the line of that graph. And we need to remember, when we've got a pair of coordinates in brackets, that first number is the x coordinate, it's the x value. And that's what we go across on our axes. And the second number in our brackets is the y coordinate, and that tells us how far we go up or down. Okay, so if we wanted to draw the graph of y equals 2x plus 2, and we want to draw it from x is minus 2 to x is 3, we need to work out some coordinates that we can plot. So let's do that together now. I'm actually going to come back to the negative x coordinates at the end, because as I said, that's like the extension work today. So let's start with x is 0. Okay, so when x is 0, we're going to substitute that into y equals 2x plus 2. So that means I've got 2 times by 0, which I know is 0, and then I'm going to add 2. So when x is 0, y is 2. So that tells me that the coordinate, the x value is 0 in this column, and the y value is 2. And that point lies on the line. So I can plot that point. That point is 0 across and 2 up. And when we plot coordinates on graphs, we do a small cross. So I've got 0, 2. Let's have a look at when x is 1. When x is 1, so I'm now going to substitute x is 1 into the equation for my line. So I've got y is 2 times 1, which is 2, plus 2. So that's going to give me 4. So my next coordinate I can plot is 1, 4. So let's plot that one. 1, 4. That one's there. Now, when x is 2, y equals 2 times 2, which is 4, plus 2, which is 6. So my next coordinate on my line is 2, 6. Let's plot that one. 2, 6 goes up there. And for 3, when x is equal to 3, y is equal to 2 times 3, which is 6, plus 2, which is 8. So I get 3, 8. And actually you can see if I go across to 3, I can't actually plot that point because it's off my y-axis, but that's not a problem. I'm just going to leave that one. Now I could draw this line in now. Okay, when we draw a line in, we should have a minimum of 3 points, which I've got, and we should draw the line all the way across the grid. Okay, but let's just have a go at these negatives to get a few more points on our lines for those that fancy trying the negatives later on. So when x is minus 2, let's substitute minus 2 into our equation. 2 times minus 2 is minus 4. Add 2 to that, we get minus 2. So I've got minus 2 as a point on my line. And let's lastly substitute x is minus 1. 2 times minus 1 is minus 2. Add 2 is 0. So I get minus 1, 0, minus 1, 0. And there we are. So I've got a couple more points on my line. Now it's really important that all of your points are going to lie exactly on a straight line. Okay, if they don't, then something's gone wrong, either with calculating your coordinates or plotting. So what you're going to do is you're going to get a ruler, and we've been doing this with a ruler and a pencil, and you're going to draw a straight line straight through the points. Now what we don't do, so this is what we don't do, we don't just join up the first and last point, because that line goes on forever and ever. So when you draw your lines, I want you to extend them beyond the first and the last point, so they go all the way across the grid like that. And there we have the line of y equals 2x plus 2. Okay, if we've only got one line on our grid, as long as we've got a title for our graph telling us it's y equals 2x plus 2, that's fine. If we've got more than one line on the same grid, then we must label each line so we know which equation is which. So I could label this y equals 2x plus 2. So as with all graphs, we should have a title, and we should label our x and y axes. So you're now going to have a go at plotting some graphs. So you're going to find the straight line graphs booklet attached to the assignment. You can start on the challenge or the super challenge. You're going to work your way through the booklet, and if you finish, there's a couple of problem solving questions in MyMaths that you can try. Now if you can print the booklet, you will find that easier because you can work out the coordinates and use the printed grids. If you can't print the booklet, that's fine. You'll just have to work out your coordinates and draw the grids into your exercise books.